Welcome back. President Obama losing some ground with American voters. A new Quinnipiac poll shows that his job approval is now at 42%, an all-time low. Are mixed messages on Libya hurting the president? Here for a fair and balanced debate, Fox News contributor Juan Williams, New York Daily News columnist and Fox News contributor as well, Andrea Tantaros. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gretchen.
All right, Juan, what do you make of these poll numbers? They're not good for the president.
No, but I mean, that's the pretty much bottom feeding in terms of the polls. If you look at the Real Clear Politics average of his approval rating right now, it's much higher, around 47, 48. And in fact, if you look at the latest Fox News dynamic poll, it's even higher. So what you're seeing here, I think, is that things go up and down. But even if you took the Quinnipiac poll for what it was, Gretchen, at 42, he's still where Ronald Reagan was at this point in his first term. And obviously, Ronald Reagan got reelected. Bill Clinton was about the same place he got reelected. Things go up and down.
Right. But we're talking about today and the situation in Libya, Andrea, because one could assume that if this thing gets murkier and murkier, the poll numbers are going to continue to go down.
Yeah, and Juan, that's a good spin, but let's look at also the individual handling of the economy numbers that came out just last week from Rasmussen. They had him at the #1 issue to voters, the economy, had him at an approval rating of 31%. So look, I think it's more than just mixed messages on Libya. I mean, we've heard mixed messages coming from this administration on everything from Libya to Egypt to Israel, spending. In December, we heard him say, you need to tackle Social Security. You need to tackle the budget if you're ever going to hope to tackle the budget. And he didn't do that in his budget. On oil, he was before drilling, before he was against it, before he was for it.
Right.
I mean, I've had pairs of pantyhose longer than this guy's had some of his positions.
Oh, come on. Hey, Juan, is there anything to Andrea's argument that this president seems to say one thing, look for the reaction from the American public, and sometimes change his story?
No, I think, look, we're talking about a politician, Gretchen, but I mean, I thought Andrea, changed the subject in some regard. I mean, you're talking about Libya, she's talking about the economy. I think on Libya, the American people...
She's just saying that it appears that there are mixed messages on more issues than just Libya.
Well, I think there's lots of opportunity to say, you know what, I don't like his policy. I particularly don't like the way that he has failed to lead in terms of the budget negotiations. But if you look at it overall, I think Americans have rallied around the flag in terms of Libya. I think that his speech went over pretty well the other night in terms of the economy and jobs. I think people want to see more progress, but at the moment, there is growing confidence. Wall Street's doing very well. Corporate America's starting to hire again. So I think that people are seeing steady progress, but it's just not the rate of progress that we'd like to see. You know, if you ask the American people, is the country headed in the right direction or wrong direction, it's overwhelming. People say we're headed in the wrong direction, but that was the case under President Bush. It's less so the case, but still the case under President Obama.
But Juan, think about that. That's not a winning message. It's all relative, and so what, it's only 60% in the wrong direction? That's a really bad number. And look, it's not that I just disagree with his policies. I can't follow his policies. I mean, you pointed out Wall Street. One day, he's demonizing Wall Street. The next day, he has them to the White House, and he said, I'm not out to demonize anyone. I can't figure out his policy.
Well, clearly,
and I think that's translating to weakness, is all these mixed signals, not just from him, but from the member of his administration.
One final word.
Well, I don't think it translates to weakness. I think, obviously, we had to have Wall Street bailed out to keep us out of a depression, recession. And I think now you have to say to Wall Street, hey, be responsible. Let's get back to hiring Americans. Use your profits for good purpose. But remember, Andrea, there's no Republican right now on the horizon who, matched up against Barack Obama, wins the next election. That's a key thing to remember.
Unknown Republican polls even.
I gotta go there, but it's still early in the race, I will say that. Juan and Andrea, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning, guys.